I don't know about you, but when I first started getting active on social media, I really did not know how difficult it would be to get some traction, because it kind of sounds like, hey, post a few times, that should start getting the ball rolling. It really takes a lot more than that. And even at a layer deeper than just posting more than a few times, there's some special strategies and tips that I'm going to share in this video. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the #1 channel for professional service providers looking to build their brand, business, and live their best life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Katie, and I'm the owner of leadersonline.com. And if you're not new, welcome back. I am so thankful to have you here with me today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about how to rock your social media strategy in 2020. And I don't know about you, but when I first started getting active on social media, I really did not know how difficult it would be to get some traction, because it kind of sounds like, hey, post a few times, that should start getting the ball rolling. It really takes a lot more than that. And even at a layer deeper than just posting more than a few times, there's some special strategies and tips that I'm going to share in this video that I've learned through my own experiments being on social media, through my clients, and through other people that I've followed to become more educated on social media in general. So I'm going to be sharing those tips with you in today's video, but before we jump into them, please be sure that you subscribed and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel. So without further ado, let's jump straight into these tips. So my first tip for you is going to be to focus on one audience. And I read the book called Spin Selling, and there was a quote in it who I'm not sure who this quote can be attributed to, but it's not my quote, and I'm really, really sorry whoever's quote it is that I'm not quoting you. But the quote is, it's easier to boil a pot of water than it is to boil a lake. And that's so applicable here, because as you are just getting started on social media, or maybe you've already gotten on social media and you're not seeing the traction you're looking for, the first place I would look at your audience, because if you're not focused on one audience, then not only can you not have a really specific message, a really specific offer, and a really targeted location, it's going to be so difficult to try to boil your business and get it off the ground. So having one audience is going to be key in terms of having that very specific message, the very specific offer, and knowing what platform to hang out on. Because if you're on Instagram and you love Instagram, but your ideal client is on LinkedIn, and you don't like LinkedIn, well, you need to be on LinkedIn. And I'm sorry that you may not like LinkedIn, but you need to go there if you're serious about building your brand and business. And I'm not saying you can't be on Instagram, but if Instagram's taking up all your time and you're not also staying on LinkedIn, then you're really just damaging your potential brand and business. So make sure that you're hanging out where your ideal client hangs out, and that's probably potentially not necessarily where you most like to hang out. So focus on one audience. That's gonna be my first tip. My next tip is going to be to focus on value, not sales. And what do I mean by this? Well, let's think about going to Starbucks and you're ordering coffee and you're in line with someone and they just start telling you all about their business and why you should work with them and what they have to offer with you, and they try to get your number, and it's just way too much. What happens the next time you see that person? You walk into Starbucks. You're gonna get in your car and you're gonna go to a totally different Starbucks because you can't stand that person. You don't even want to talk to them. So the same thing applies on social media, and especially in your content. You've got to focus on providing value and being helpful. So let's pretend that you are, say, a bookkeeper. Go ahead and do a 5-part educational series that's going to build the know, like, and trust with your ideal client, and then you can say, hey, I'm taking on bookkeeping clients. That's a totally different approach than just, I'm taking on bookkeeping clients, I'm open for bookkeeping clients. You're not building any sort of know, like, and trust with that person. You're being that annoying person in the Starbucks line that everyone avoids. So I get it. I totally get it. You want to grow your business, you genuinely love your clients, and you want to serve more, but take that energy and put it into providing value, and you will see it come back tenfold. So don't be too salesy. Now, the next tip I have for you is going to be to engage your audience. And I actually have a video that I'll link up here and also link down in the comments below, all about how to create engaging content. But it's going to be really important that you are creating content on your social media that builds relationships, because ultimately everything stems from relationships, and relationships take two people. They take conversations. So your content should engage your audience. If they comment on your post, you should be sure to always comment back. You should engage your audience through DMs. You should engage them outside of social media, which we're going to talk about later. You have to build relationships, and that's going to take you likely engaging them. So my next tip for you is going to be consistency, and this is going to be kind of twofold. So first off, you have to be consistent in your brand. So if I go to your social media profile and I start looking through it, I should see a nice profile picture. I should see your headline or your tagline, whatever platform you're on should be super consistent. Your banners, your offering, everything should be super consistent. And I see some mistakes that people make is maybe their LinkedIn is like this, but then their Twitter is different, and then their Instagram is different, and their Facebook is different. Make sure you're really, really consistent in your branding, and then also be consistent with your posting, because the more you post, the more you can get in front of your ideal clients, and the more you can build the know, like, and trust. You're continuously showing up, getting in front of them. So that's going to be super important, not only in terms of like posting consistently, but the content that you're posting. Because if you're posting one day about this, and then one day about something totally different over here, and then someday about here, it gets really confusing as to what your message is, what your offer is, and ultimately how you can actually solve your ideal clients' problems. So make sure it's consistent branding, consistent posting, and consistent content in terms of its message. That's going to be super important to rocking your social media strategy in 2020. Now, the next tip I have for you is to bring people into your inner circle. And what do I mean by this? Well, we've got to get them off of social media, because we can build this amazing audience on social media. But if we aren't like bringing them into what I call our inner circle to nurture them with our own emails, our own text messages, our own voicemails, and so forth, then what happens whenever social media shuts down? What happens if, say, you can't log into this platform, or maybe this person that always engaged with your content, suddenly they're not on your platform anymore? There's so many things that can happen, and I have a video all about how to build a sales funnel. This is essentially building a sales funnel. And I'll go ahead and link that up here and down below here. So you'll want to check that out if you want to learn how to get people into your inner circle. Now, my final tip for you to rocking your social media strategy in 2020 is going to be to track. Track what's working, what's not working, what's leading to conversions, what content your audience is enjoying. Literally track everything, because what you think they might enjoy, they might not actually enjoy, and what you think might be like okay content, they might love. So you've got to track it to know how to improve going forward. And if you're putting all this time into creating content, into focusing on social media, then you deserve to see a return. And the best thing you can do is get started with a great plan, take these actionable tips, put them into action, and then track, monitor, and adjust going forward so that you continue to improve and evolve over time. Now, I've got to ask a final question. What did you find most helpful in this video? What tip are you going to implement today into your social media strategy? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, like I said, please subscribe. It supports this channel so much and helps me know what content you enjoy, because I track my metrics. So I hope wherever you are that you're having a beautiful morning, day, or evening, and that you have enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for my next one.